A new mystery virus just emerged out of China of all places. And if history has told us anything, that really can't be good for any of us. Now, to make matters worse, the World Health Organization, the WHO, is already bringing back a few things that, well, let's just say that there's stuff that we probably could do without. Now, just to give you guys a quick clue, it's stuff that you wear in your face. Is that obvious enough?
Well, a spike in respiratory illnesses in China has caught the attention of the World Health Organization. It's not clear when the outbreak began or what's driving the infections. The WHO wants to dig further for some answers. The CBC's Tricia Gendelman is working on this story for us. So, Tricia, what do we know so far about what's happening in China?
Well, it's an undiagnosed respiratory illness is what they're referring to it as. And these reports started to come out around mid-October. But it was just recently that the WHO says they did put out a request for more data. So they are looking for that additional information, which does include lab results. And this was first officially reported, I will say, at a press conference on November 13th. That included the National Health Commission of China. And Chinese authorities there attributed this increase to the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions and the circulation of known pathogens. So then just after that, about a week later or so, on November 21st, that was when some media reports, as well as the group ProMed, put out some statements, and they're known as the Program for Monitoring Emerging Diseases. So they again reported clusters of what they're calling an undiagnosed pneumonia, particularly in children in northern China, and it covers an area about 800 kilometers wide. And then we do have that request from the WHO, which just came in yesterday, for that clinical information that could help explain what exactly might be going on in this area.
Wait, hold up. The report started all the way back in October and they're telling us now? They're letting the world know about it just now? This is absolutely not surprising, but at the same time, it's still as disappointing, if not even more disappointing than the last time. Because you would think that they would have learned their lesson from the C-19 virus, right? So here's a quick question. Do you think that we should be worried about our own kids at this point? Or heck, should we be worried that there seems to be something new going on around again? Comment a quick yes or no on that one, since I really want to kind of gauge how you guys feel about this whole situation. And while you're at it, please smash the like button for the video and share this video with someone that you care about who definitely needs to know about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that, guys. All right, so getting back. So the WHO is saying the same kind of stuff that they told us back during the health crisis. You know, masks, social distancing, all that stuff. Man, oh man, I do not miss hearing the term social distancing because they created this entire thing during the pandemic and, well, just kind of leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, doesn't it? Now, they've also said that those who don't feel well, and I'm talking about China here, that those who may not feel well should stay at home. Does that remind you of anything? I mean, people should be doing this anyway, but anyway, does this make you feel any kind of like past anxiety that you may have felt? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already feeling just a little bit jittery with just the thought of this update. And to be honest with you guys, it's worrying because it seems to be affecting kids much more than adults. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I reported months ago, and I think it was even back last year, that the next possible virus may affect kids more, especially since the initial C-19 virus was mostly affecting those who were much older. Another thought that I had at the time as I was trying to put the puzzle pieces together on my own. Fast forward to today, and well, we're here in hospitals in China getting overwhelmed with sick kids and schools suspending classes. Some experts, though, they're saying that we should relax, especially since at the time of this recording, okay? So at this time, they found nothing that suggests that this is a new C-19 variant. They are, however, pleased that the surveillance processes are working. And I mean, like, who doesn't like that, right? I also love being tracked and all that stuff too. I mean, get my GPS details, why don't you? There's also an array of, how do I call it? Mixed signals? I guess that fits it. There's a lot of mixed signals coming from China since authorities are saying that even though there's a lot of these respiratory illnesses that are being reported, hospitals are still managing them just fine. You know what? Let me show you how many people are in their hospitals right now, and you be the judge. I'll show you the footage somewhere here on the screen, but what do you think?
是我们应该根据我们孩子的这个年龄和体重，去合理的去服用退热药物，保证我们孩子有一个充分的休息。另外，如果我们的孩子一旦确诊是肺炎支原体感染的话，我们是建议一定要居家休息的。一方面呢，我们有利于我们孩子的康复； 另外一方面也是对其他人的一个保护。如果我们的孩子呢既往有过敏史，或者是有相应的家族史，那么我们就建议我们的孩子要避免接触花草、宠物和烟草啊等等这些。
If you asked a majority of Americans, or about 75% of the people who answered a survey on the C19 virus, they're not worried at all about this. In fact, they're not even thinking of avoiding any kind of holiday get-togethers or parties. In fact, 50% of the respondents said that they have no intentions to take any precautions against getting infected with it again, meaning that unlike what the WHO is saying for China, there will probably be no social distancings or masks being involved with our holiday cheer. Now, to add to that, only 1 in 5 surveyed said that they had gotten the updated jab, with more than half of them saying that they're not going to take any more shots.
More Americans are declining COVID boosters. Right now, the CDC says only 20% of adults in the nation are getting boosted.
That leaves them with little protection against being hospitalized for symptoms of COVID. Joining us to discuss this, Dr. Peter Holtes from the Baylor College of Medicine. Doctor, thanks for joining us. First question, many people are wondering, why do they need another shot? Some may have even gotten pretty sick with COVID after getting boosted.
Yeah, I get the question a lot. And a lot of people, a lot of Americans don't realize, including here in Houston, that the bivalent booster that became available last September is a different vaccine from the original one, in that it specifically targets these Omicron variants that are currently circulating. So the original vaccine does not protect nearly as well against these new Omicron variants, including the XBB 1.5 that's circulating, 1.16, and others. So you really need to get that bivalent booster, and we're not getting the word out as effectively as we need to. Only about 18% of Americans have taken that bivalent booster since it became available last September. So important message number one is, if you've not gotten that bivalent booster, it's not too late to get it. There's still a lot of COVID circulating. The numbers are going down in our Houston area, but they are going potentially up in New York and Connecticut. And so there's a possibility it's going to go up again this summer in Houston. So get your bivalent booster, point number one. Second, if you've gotten your bivalent booster last September or October, it is also wearing off. And so if you're over the age of 65, or if you're immunocompromised, you're eligible for a second bivalent booster. And that's also really important.
Now, again, I'm just giving you guys the numbers here. If you want to get the jab, that's totally up to you. If you don't, that's your choice too. Which leads me to the flu shot. And yes, it's still very much connected to what we've been talking about, because it's just been released that last year's flu shot was less than 50% effective for children and adolescents. Like, what the heck, right? So get this, guys. The influenza vaccine was only 48% effective overall in preventing emergency department or urgent care visits and hospitalizations for children and adolescents. A very worrying trend, if you ask me. But we gotta ask, who's giving us these numbers? Oh wait, that's right, the CDC. It's not like they're promoting vaccines right now. But you gotta wonder, isn't it just convenient that the numbers focus mostly on kids? Like, is that weird to you? Do you think that this might be a precursor to something much more, something bigger? Or is that just another conspiracy theory that we should just completely forget about? Make sure you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And before I go, don't forget to get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below this video. Just takes a second. There's no risk. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the next one.